Hi, my name is Miranda Berkebile. I'm a third-year medical student at the Jacobs School of Medicine. Yeah, in high school, in grade school, I was like a competitive figure skater. I skated in Syracuse, is where I'm from, for most of my childhood, and then in high school, I actually skated out in Buffalo because my coaches were out here, and I traveled up to Toronto every few weeks. In terms of like U.S. figure skating, I was a triple gold medalist in like ice dancing, freestyle, and moves in the field, which is just kind of like tests to test up to like the senior level. Yeah, in high school I did a lot of competitions, and I probably competed like 6 or 7 times every single year. I think in like elementary school I would skate probably 3 or 4 times a week for probably 2 to 3 hours at a time. And then up in high school, I skated probably 5 times a week for like 2 to 3, maybe 4 hours each time. And then we also had off-ice training and ballet classes, so it was a bit of a time commitment for sure, especially coupled with the driving from Syracuse to Buffalo. So when I graduated high school, I actually skated professionally for 3 years, so I kind of made that transition. I was an ice skater for Disney on Ice for 3 years before I went to college. And it's rewarding to, perform for kids every single day and be able to do what I love. And I was with a really great group of people. I got to 44 countries while I was traveling. So our last tour was like Asia, Australia, and then I decided to go to college after that. UB as a school just had everything I wanted. It was big. I wanted a big school. And then after traveling for 3 years and being all over the world, I wanted to be a little bit closer to family. I didn't want to be, 13 hours away or a flight away. And UB was great. They have research there. There's opportunities. There's a million different majors. It was a SUNY school. It was a state school. And so I knew that if I wanted to go to medical school, I didn't really want to be taking out a ton of loans. So state school was kind of the move for me. People of Buffalo are really passionate about Buffalo and giving back to the community, and that's something I also really enjoy about the city. So when I joined TOR, I always knew I was going to go to college. I always wanted to go to college. I've always enjoyed school, and I was a biology major with a political science minor. In high school, I kind of always thought about going to medical school. So as I was kind of going through my undergrad, I was exploring different opportunities, and I just wasn't excited about anything else. Like, medicine was the only thing that I was really excited about doing. All of the residents have been wonderful that I've worked with. All the attendants have been great too, but as a medical student, you spend a lot of time with residents. I definitely learned a lot, I think, from skating that I apply to my life now. And my time on tour, honestly, was just spent with a lot of different people, a lot of different cultures, a lot of different nationalities. So I think, when you know a little bit about where somebody comes from and somebody's culture, you can relate to them a little bit better. So I think that's something that, has been invaluable and will always be helpful